What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Two Grumpy Wolves podcast. Hopefully you can hear me and see me okay. We're back with episode 9. Hopefully no errors today from my part. But yeah, lots to talk about. Some really cool rumours, some which are hopefully, true. It'll remain to be seen whether they are or not, but it's worth talking about for sure. Also, we have Discord now have activated, and basically, if you follow the link that was shared, you can head to our little chat room there. You won't be able to speak until I unmute you, but you will then be able to have your turn to get your point across and stuff. I know that this is something that Sutty, everybody's really wanting to get. So it's been a bit of a process, me trying to figure out a way for it to happen. And it looks like I've figured it out, which is brilliant. Sutty, after that long-winded introduction, my friend, how are you, mate?
Not too bad, Dan. Thank you. How are you, mate? Evening, everyone.
Very good. Just get that feedback noise away. There we are. Hope you're all doing well, guys. Make sure you're getting in the chat. I can actually see you today as well, which is actually probably bringing a big smile to my face, actually, because last time I couldn't see you. So what's going on, North Street? Neil, Dapper, Martin, Paul, Matthew, we got Rebecca, all these different people. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you're joining us for the first time, please make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, just get involved as much as possible in the chat, because it makes it a lot more fun to do these things. So yeah, so no football at the moment in terms of the old gold. So I thought I'd just talk about really like what you've been up to, really, because we're not going to get many opportunities when the Wolves are back on. So how's your week been?
Not bad, mate. Just busy at work. Same old. Bank holiday weekend. Did I bank holiday weekend? Not a lot, really. I'll sort of remember it, wouldn't I? So
yeah.
I think I worked last weekend and I had Monday off, which is a rarity to me.
It's what you want. It's what you want. Absolutely what you want. But yeah, guys, like I said, make sure you're following the link. I'll just send it again, just so that you're aware. Where are we? Here we are. And I'll send the link over. So this link will get you access to the chat, where you can hear us live on Discord, and then you will be able to speak as well once unmuted. Also, that Discord, Sutty, is a server, so people can get involved on that for things in the future that we can get involved in. So it's really exciting, actually. Quite excited to get that started. But yeah, so you got lots to talk about, to be fair. Lots of rumours going around, because I wasn't really sure what we'd talk about today, but you sent on WhatsApp, there's a few rumours, wasn't there? So let's go along with the first one, which is probably not a surprise, but João Gomes getting looked at by Manchester United. What's your thoughts on João Gomes if he was to go? Do you think, he probably deserves it, really, doesn't he?
Well, I think João Gomes is a little bit too good for the Championship and still has aspirations of being involved in the Brazil national side. World Cup year, always a tricky one, mate, because it takes they've got to be playing in their top flight, prospective leagues to even be considered for a country like Brazil. And although he is at the moment, let's be honest, it's been an abysmal season. I know we've sort of turned halfway around the corner of late, but it's been really poor. I'm not saying João Gomes has been really poor, by the way, but in a team game, if you've only got a couple that are performing, you don't actually look good yourself a lot of the time. And you're talking about a defensive midfielder. That I looked at some stats the other day. That's basically third in the Premier League in all stats for what he does best. Now, if you're third in the Premier League at what you do best, you ain't going to go down to the Championship. So it's about, for me now, I'm pretty sure he'll go, but he's doing it the right way. He's digging in, and he's never give up. He never gives everything up, the lad. He's a good lad. I'm pretty sure that he thinks a hell of a lot of this football club, because we were the ones that sort of dug our heels in when other clubs came for him. We were the ones that sort of said, no, we want you, and we want you to basically replace Ruben Neves when he went. And overall, João Gomes has been very good for us, a very, very good, solid player. And it's up to the club now that if he does go, to do what they did with likes of Strand Larsen and make sure that they dig their heels in and get the right money. No more this ain't Norrie bullshit. For 30 million quid saying, oh, you know, he's only got a year left on his contract, whatever, when he had a rollover year as well. I think we sold him far too cheap. I think
Agreed.
he was another 10, 15 million, and then they still paid it. So we've got to dig our heels in and make sure we get the right money and not just bow to one of the big clubs coming, because I believe United are very keen on him, and go and get that 40, 45 million quid for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I agree with you. To be fair, I feel like I think if Wolves were to get rid of him, he definitely would need to get a good fee for him, and I think we would. To be fair, I think he's one of those players that demands a good fee, really, because he's already played internationally, and I think unlike Ait-Nouri, who was kind of like a bit of a player which didn't really, I mean, showed weaknesses basically in some games, I'd say. João Gomes has probably been one of Wolves' best players for a few seasons, really. And he's also extremely hardworking. Someone said it in the chat here. Doesn't get many goals, says Martin, which is true, but he does get impactful goals. Like the goals that he has scored have really impacted games. And then the other thing as well is, you know, it's like you said, Sutty, at the end of the day, we bought this kid because he was the guy that was going to replace top midfielders that we got rid of in the future. And going on that model, it was probably a good bit of astute business, really. And I was really, really happy to get him over the line. And when he's playing his best, Sutty, he is unstoppable. And seriously, when he's really on top, he's the best player on the pitch sometimes, even in Premier League fixtures. So I can see Man United lapping it up, really. I mean, you look at their midfield, it's probably one of the areas that they need to strengthen the most, isn't it, really? So I can see this happening. I really can. I think like you'll be looking at Manchester United's midfield and being such a key area. I do think this will happen, to be fair. And unlike Cunha, who went there with a bit of a chip on his shoulder, it'll be different for João Gomes. I feel like we'll respect the move. We won't want it particularly, but it will happen. And we've just got to give him our blessings, really, and just thank him for his service, pretty much, haven't we?
Definitely.
So, yeah, I mean, kind of let me know what you guys think in the chat, by the way, on João Gomes. Sharky says, João has really stepped up this week, last few weeks, and I think all that credit's due to Rob. Vitor couldn't do it, and we faced City's first game of the season and zapped all their confidence. I think it's got to do with a lot of the fact that he's getting a lot more freedom, isn't he, Sutty? He's getting a lot more sort of... He's getting more freedom from the manager to say, look, if there's space forward, I want you to get forward. I want you to be that guy on the edge of the box. And similar to what Sharky said there, really. I don't think Vitor really ever had that in his plans, really. It always seems like the midfielders were quite deep. And it does look a bit like there's a bit more midfield freedom from what Rob's trying to do at the moment. But at the same time, there has been game Sutty, which that has cost us in a way, hasn't it? In the midfield, I feel like there's been a few games where he hasn't been playing at his best and been caught out of position. So that, for me, is a double-edged sword, what Sharky's saying there. Yes, okay, he can get forward, and that's good, but sometimes he's such a good player at being that pit bull, isn't he, Sutty, and dogging the area up, that sometimes you kind of want him there as well, don't you? So, yeah,
it's not his fault, though, Dan, that he's never actually been put next to a creative midfielder, really. We've always played with those two sort of very defence-minded midfielders. Now, obviously, in the last few weeks, Rob Edwards probably has said to him, when you get chance, you hit the space. André will cover for you. And we all know Andre's great at that. He'll cover. If you tell him to stay back and cover, he'll stay back and cover. And there's nobody better than him at doing that, really. And so João has sort of ventured off up the pitch a bit more.
I think that's helped with the system change as well, didn't it? Because we sort of play with that a midfield three, really. Even if there is two pivots, there's always a sort of box-to-box creative midfielder that's circling around that area and changing from the flanks to be that 10. And I think that's really helped as well. I think just having the two midfielders of him and João Gomes, I think sometimes that's actually really, really caused issue, really. So, I think it's a good move for him. I'd love to see him in the Championship. I just don't see that being good for him, really. Like you said, Sutty, I mean, he's going to be having one eye on on his international career as well, isn't he? So,
well, I think when we won the Championship last time, we had a lot of sort of aspiring players coming through. They weren't actually set in stone internationals and what have you.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different now when you're going down. But players will look at the club a lot more closely to see what direction these owners are going. They'll look at what the owners are doing.
Yeah.
Now, when we had Neves, Jota, Bolly, all of these people, they weren't regular starters at international level.
Agreed, yeah.
Under 21s and what have you. But they were given the limelight and the platform to perform on. And if they performed on it, they knew that they would break into these national sides and what have you. We haven't really got that at the moment. We've got Mane, and Hugo Bueno. We haven't got that. We've got a lot of internationals, not at the best countries for the level of internationals, but we have a lot of internationals that won't want to drop down into the Championship. So it's a little bit of a different remit this time. I know people saying, well, we had all these players before. Why don't this lot stay and get us back up? As I said before, in an ideal world, that would be nice. But we don't live in an ideal world.
No.
And 5 or 6 of a minimum will be gone.
Yeah, I agree. So, I think that's mostly what we've got to say about João, really. One of those players that we're glad to have had, but is more of a luxury player, and I just don't see that being something that is sensible. Really, I feel like if you're gonna get the money, you want to get it now, really, instead of farting around and having an Ait Nouri situation on your hands. So, yeah, and then I think Martin says here, André is brilliant. I think we should probably talk about the fact that André has shown a little bit of a bit of a surprise, really, to everybody, that he's keen on staying at Wolves. Now, basically he runs a Twitch channel, which basically means that he can play live games and whatever you online to stream to the masses like we are now. And on that stream, he said that he could see himself at Wolves. He loves it so much. He could see himself at Wolves 3 to 4 to 5 years. Now, we can all say things, in streams, and it might not be a gospel thing, but there has been a little bit more out today, Sutty, about him talking about Rob Edwards and how he really appreciates Rob and what he's done and wants to fight for him and would be happy. He's happy at Wolves. He said it a few times now. The other interest is the fact that he said that 3 to 4 to 5 years. Now, is he referring to the fact that we still aren't mathematically down, are we? You know what I mean? And to the players, they'll never ever say that, regardless of anything. So maybe he's just thinking, if Wolves were to do the absolute unthinkable, he would stay, and he'd love to stay 3 to 4, 5 years. We haven't actually heard from him in any capacity. Yes, I'll stay, even if Wolves were to go down. That, to me, is a very, very different discussion, isn't it? What was your sort of thoughts around that, Sutty? Around hearing, that from André?
Oh, I don't buy into it myself, mate. I think, it's easy to say these things, but another one that will most probably be gone. I would say he's 90% he'll go. They've got years left on these contracts and they'll want money for them, Dan. What you got to remember is, if we don't punch our way out of the Championship, and you keep all these big players, their value absolutely plummets.
Yeah.
Because if they can't get out of that league at the first time of asking, they'll want out, and that's when they'll start kicking off. It's a very... I'm not backing a club here. I've never been one to back ownerships and that. I'm not saying that, but I think as we posted a loss in the last lot of accounts, I think we'll be looking to rake in as much money as possible again, and almost start afresh. I can't see the likes of André and João Gomes stopping here. Likewise, Sarr. Likewise, Krejci. Krejci has a good World Cup finals, this is. And he ain't going to want to play in the Championship. He's far too good to play in the Championship. So another one that'll be gone. So all your assets will... It's not asset stripping as such, because if they say like they did before, they're going to hold out for the highest price, then they're going to be coming to a lot of money. They've got to invest it properly, and they've got to invest it well. And unfortunately, they're going to have to spend a lot of money, because we've got a threadbare squad as it is, Dan. And we've got to play a lot more games against a lot rougher bunch of teams who will try and kick you off the park, because we're going to be a scalp in that league. Everybody's cup final. So everybody's going to want to beat Wolves. So you've got to have a squad with some depth in it. And that's going to cost some money. I keep hearing stuff like, I might spend 60 million. 60 million is nowhere near enough. Nowhere near. Unless you're still going with the same remit of let's see if we can unearth a few gems. We ain't got time for gems if we want to punch our way out of a Championship.
I agreed. Absolutely agreed. Okay. Let's think about the unthinkable, if you want to. What would be your opinion of André if he was to stay, and what would that what would that say about Rob Edwards? What would that say about the club in general? If a player like that was to stay and take the wage, deficit and stuff, what would be your opinion of him? Because I mean, he'd be one of the best players in the Championship, if not the best one.
He'd be the best player in his position in the Championship by far.
Yeah, and this is it, isn't it? But what would your opinion be of the club and him in general, really?
Look, obviously, if Andre went public and said, I do not want to leave this football club and I want to help us get back up, and he went to Rob Edwards and said, Rob, I want to stay. I do not want to go. I want to stay here and make sure this club gets back up. Well, straight away, if we were to come straight back up and he was at the helm of it all, then he's getting hero worship status, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So I'm not so sure he'll stay, but he's saying all the right things. But as I've always said, saying and doing are completely different things. So until you do it, then I won't believe it, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think someone said here, captain material, Dapper said. I think, well, you'd bargain on giving him captain, really, considering, I mean, that would show a lot of love for the club. And obviously he's got some, he knows what the club's about, and there's going to be a lot of players leaving. So if he was to stay, I think he probably would make captain. Same goes to the likes of Krejci, players like that who have been at Wolves. I think they will ultimately be the captains for Wolves. And to be honest with you, I mean, without Krejci's been as of late, Neil says he's been linked to Forest. I wouldn't be shocked if he went real soon, because he's got his club his international club single-handedly basically into the World Cup, pretty much, hasn't he?
Well, look, he's a dual player, isn't he? So they're going to offload Murillo this summer and get big money for Murillo. So they're another club that hold out for big money. So Anderson and Murillo are going to be gone. So they're going to have money to play with. Now, if the unthinkable happened to Forest and they went down, they'll be having a big fire sale. Take it from me as well, because they won't keep everybody. Likes and Gibbs White and all them could well go. But if they sell Murillo and get good money for Murillo, they're going to come in with a cheeky bid for Krejci. So I think we pay. Have we got the option to buy him for 35 or 30 million or something like that?
That's right.
So I want a bit more than that. If I'm going to let him go straight away, again, I want something that starts with a 4. And
well, Dapper said here, Forest are down with us, lol. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, it all depends on who's going to be that third team, really, because they're all sort of fighting for it at the moment down there, aren't they? I mean,
you can say that he's the one success of a Vitor Pereira summer window. Can't really say it about any of the others. They're not been a success.
No, absolutely not. No, Krejci's been absolutely fantastic, hasn't he? I mean, watching him even in an international team, he's just so demanding of the ball. Like, he's so good when the ball's at his feet. All the players around him are just so chill and so calm. And there's been so many teams that I've watched who haven't got a player like that in their back line. There's a lot of players for Wolves that I could see easily in other Premier League teams and would start. So
that's because he's a midfielder by trade as well.
Yeah,
he's a dual player. You're getting 2 for 1 here.
Yeah.
He can play as well as a central defensive midfielder as he can at centre half. So he can play in a 4, he can play in a 3. So to me, that's worth a lot of money. And if you're buying him to sell him just for a few million quid, well, I want more than that. I want double figures profit on him.
I agree, mate. I agree. Listen, get into. I know a lot of you guys were requesting it, and I have made it happen. So let's get you guys in here and say hello to me and Sutty. You follow that Discord link, basically. If you've not got a Discord, quickly make yourself a nice little profile and get involved, basically. As soon as you get into the chat, you'll be muted. I'll then have to unmute you, and then you feel free to talk for a little bit and get your point across on the season so far, anything that's sort of a question budding in your skulls for myself and Sutty, and basically whatever you want to say. It's an uncensored podcast. There's not many of those around, so get involved and have your say and say what you want to say, and with no sensors attached. You know what I mean? Like it's a good space for you to do it. So, thank you so much for everybody being here so far. I know someone said but someone from Everton, an Everton fan here. Did I see that right? Who was that? Richie. Thanks very much for joining us, Richie. I know it says he's an Everton fan, but he's here to say hello. Cheers, nice one. All right, Sutty. So I think that it's time to talk a little bit about an article that came out regarding ticketing and the concession prices. Don't know if you've seen that already, Sutty. What's your opinions of the figures that have come out on the ticketing side of things?
Well, you can only praise them for that. You can't knock them for that, unfortunately. I mean, I've been the biggest person to knock them for year on year on year. But you have to give praise where it's due. And I should imagine we've got people in the chat who have got 2 or 3 kids under the age of sort of 18 who will be looping the loop that they can go and watch Wolves play football again. We all know that Uncle Jeff tried to price many kids, OAPs, out of the game because he wanted singular tickets for sale, match day tickets, thinking he could charge upwards of £80 a ticket per game. And he saw that as an easy option to price kids out, because if you price kids out, you price the parents out, don't you? Let's be honest. So but it backfired monumentally on him, because if you stand where I stand on the South Bank and you look at the Cullis stand, well, most days, most games, you can see probably 1,000, 1,500 empty seats. Now, I know there's a few in WV1, probably a couple of hundred, but WV1 don't stretch as far as the upper and the lower of the Cullis stand. So there are a lot of empty seats. Now, that might just be disgruntled season ticket holders that just have said, I'm not going. But I think a lot of them that have been priced out, Dan. And
yeah, absolutely.
You've got to get them back on board.
Yeah. So
if that stadium isn't rocking first game of next season, we're in trouble.
Yeah. So it says here, as part of the updated structure, under 18 season tickets will be priced at £175 across all stands, while under 14s will pay £75, ensuring your young fans can follow Wolves regularly at affordable prices, which again is probably a little bit of a dig at what Jeff was doing, really, because Jeff was literally pricing these kids out and making it look like we were like on par with Man City in terms of tickets and prices and how much you're going to pay. A little bit ridiculous, to be honest with you. All comes about because of the fan advisory board, which is brilliant to hear that the club are listening to these kind of people. The vast majority in this band will enjoy savings of at least £100 to the 25-26 campaign, and more than 200 for those sitting in central areas of the Billy Wright stand. A new under 23 category replaces the previous under 21 age band, in line with those leaving higher education, and extends a reduced pricing to broader groups of young adults, which is good as well. Good to see, them trying to sort of bracket around a good number of young fans as well. Nathan Shee says, young supporters are central to our future, and it is important that they feel part of Wolves from an early age and can build a lifelong connection with the club. This is about creating a stronger, more unified Wolves, with supporters at the heart of the club and young fans finding a home for life at Molineux. Also goes on to say that senior supporters will also continue to benefit with the 65 plus category. And does it say a price for that? I'm assuming I think that's going to be released. It says the full season ticket pricing structure will be confirmed in due course, so I'm assuming that'll be fairly soon, Sutty. What are your sort of opinions around, changing those brackets and prices across the board for the youth, mate?
Again, it's good, Dan. You can't knock them.
Mm.
They've, like I've said, I've been very outspoken against this owner and its chairman,
Yeah.
the last chairman, and this one seems to have taken on board a little bit what of the harsh realities he was told back in January. Now, I know a lot of people thought we went for tea and cake and biscuits and everything.
Mm.
It was as far away from that as you could imagine.
Mm.
It was quite heated at times from our point of view. They never got heated.
Yeah.
But it certainly wasn't what a lot of people deemed it was. And it's the fruits of the labour are now coming in for us all to taste. It's just that people don't like waiting. I don't like waiting. I'm on at them all the time to get answers and what have you. I don't like waiting. I want an answer yesterday, me. But sometimes it doesn't work like that. So everything that happened within this year, i.e. protests and everything, is slowly working. But the big proof in the pudding is, okay, you've done the season tickets. You can't possibly charge what you were charging this year for next year for a lesser product. Would they have been so generous if we'd have still been in the Premier League? Possibly not. So if we do go back up, get ready, because you will get an increase, but at least they've dropped it. It's obvious they had to drop it. They couldn't leave it at 730 odd quid behind the goal in the Championship. Absolutely not. There would have been uproar. So don't forget, they have done well by dropping it, but as well, they've had very little choice in dropping it because it's a far lesser product.
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Where would Wolves be if Wolves were to have done well this season with these players and sort of kept in sort of that middle range table? Jeff Shee wouldn't be gone now, and the model wouldn't have changed, and we'd progressively, get worse and worse again. It's one of those things, really. It's a blessing in the idea that we've now got a chairman that's a little bit more aligned with what we're wanting, and he's listening, and that's all the things that we've always wanted from Jeff. I mean, I think the main problem with Jeff was always that he didn't give us anything in terms of trust. I never felt like I could trust him. I never felt like anything he said, whether that be written down or an email or anything like that, I just never ever trusted him with what he was saying. And there's going to be a lot of about Fosun now where they've got to prove people wrong. They've got to prove people wrong. They've got to say, look, we know we're in the situation we're in, but we are gonna fight to get us back into the Premier League. Once we're in the Premier League, however, sort of like you were alluding to there, that will be where in my opinion, that's where the proof will be, really. Like, once we get into the Premier League, what are the ambitions then? Are they the same as last time? You just want 17th? You just want us to stay there? Raking in that sponsorship money? Or do you want to actually fight for trophies and be that team that's mid-table, that could do a little bit more every season and build a little bit more every season? That, to me, is where the proof will be in the pudding, really. I don't really think that it's going to be one of them unless we get absolutely fucked in the Championship. And they haven't responded very well in the transfer market. I think that's where it will get heated very quickly. So yeah, from what we're seeing at the moment, brilliant. Low in the prices, but you are absolutely 100% right, Sutty, that they had to do it. That, like, if they didn't, no one would show up. I don't care who you are. No one's going there unless you're absolutely fucked, in the head with those prices. Yeah, Dapper says, don't get it wrong, guys. Mendes had a big hand in the championship and the next 3 seasons. From what I've heard, Dapper, is that he's not going anywhere, mate. He's very much got his talons in this club. It come out was it last week, I think, was it, Sutty, that they were talking about Wolves paying so much for agent fees? Something like 12 million, was it, or something? I can't
26.
remember. Yeah, thank you. I can't remember the figure in general, but yeah, 26 million, mate, for agent fees, and a lot of that is through the, guest issue model of, I've got a player who's wants to experience English football for the first time. They'll be the only players that we were getting from that sort of from that level of transfer. What I want now, I want what we had before, which is, okay, I can see what player you've got there. I've got a good player that you could bring in. You could be a little bit of an understudy for that guy, and in a few weeks or so, I think he'll bed in nicely. I don't want this. Okay, Mendes, who have you got? Right, give him a shirt, with a decent number on. He was going to play every week. It's just he's just got old really fast. Sharky says, I can't wait to finally replace Neto, Dan. Yeah, I mean, you could say that across the board, couldn't you, Sutty? I mean, what fucking players have you replaced, really? So yeah, I think nice to see that there's some structure changes happening in terms of pricing, but obviously there's a lot more to come from that. And yeah, it's interesting how André has had a piece on the website as well after the all of the things coming out about him talking on Twitch. It would be absolutely phenomenal if he were to stay. I mean, it's just one of those pipe dreams, really, isn't it? But yeah, guys, listen, I've got you guys permission to talk with us in a chat room setting. I don't know if you guys are hitting snags or anything, because I keep seeing some people pop into the voice channel, and then sort of dipping out. So let me know if there's any snags that you're hitting, guys, because I kind of want to get this working tonight. We already heard, didn't we, from Rebecca? She came in just before the show started.
It's working.
So make sure you're following this link. Make yourself a Discord if you haven't already. Get in here. You'll be put straight into the chat room. You can say whatever you want. No strings attached. You haven't got to pay for anything or anything. Once you're in here, you don't have to be seen either. It's just going to be audio only. You haven't got to worry about yourself being on camera or anything. And yeah, that'd be good if you can get on. You scared, lads, says Dapper. Yeah, you're scared. Dancer, you need to pick someone out and ask them something we ain't done this before. Really, really good question, yeah. Statement, rather. Yeah, I mean, is there anything you guys want to talk about? Get off your chest. Someone's just joined. Who's this? G. Badford. Okay, I'm going to unmute you, bud. Just going to get you in. Going to give you 5 seconds just to make sure you're... Oh, he's gone. I knew that was going to happen. People get scared, man. I remember calling TalkSport for the first time, sort of, and it was Mark Goldbridge who I was talking to, and honestly, I was a bit like, fuck, I don't know what to say here, because you kind of put on a spot, aren't you? You're like, well, I've got to say the right things or whatever. Guys, honestly, don't fucking worry about it, man. Me and Sutty don't give a shit. Like, literally, you come on here, say what you want to say. Honestly, you have not got to worry at all. So once you come on, I'll unmute you, say what you want to say, and let's have a laugh about it. What was the other thing we needed to mention, Sutty? I've lost my list here. What was we? Oh, So obviously we're gonna have the last bit of the show talking about the West Ham game, and sort of building up to that. But something that you said, Sutty, send link Dan, not opening. Let me just try that again. So what you said, Sutty, about a new manager being interested, or some sort of link to a new manager.
Yeah, some Brazilian bloke, wasn't there? It's somebody Silva that is being banded around Brazil, learning English in a frenzy to try and get a job over here. And one of the clubs is Wolves that have been mentioned. What do people think about this guy? Because I'm sure his name, I can't think of his name now. I'm sure it's Silva.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's been banded around. What do people think about him?
Yeah.
Being the next head coach if it were to happen, and would they be happy with sort of offloading Rob Edwards for yet another sort of foreign manager that we don't really know a lot about?
Felipe Luis, says Neil.
Look, that's it, Felipe
Luis. Let's have a little look at this guy, because I'm not certain about him. Brazilian Association football manager and former player. So a youngster, isn't it? He's quite young, isn't he? Fucking hell.
In his 30s, I think, isn't he?
Trying to get his profile. It's all just about his player profile.
Well, anyway, he's an aspiring Brazilian coach who they're all sort of lauding, and he's been mentioned about possibly coming to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Well, have we got time for him to come, and if he was to come, to work his magic? Because as I keep saying, we got this little thing in the close season called the World Cup in America, and it's the longest World Cup there's ever been so far in the history of the tournament, because we've gone from 32 teams up to 48. So it's going to go on another week or so, which obviously closes down the window of buying.
Yeah,
in the window, and
he is 40. He's
exactly
40 years
still
old.
though.
So yeah, just a little talk about him. He currently, I think, is he managing someone at the moment, or he has? Yeah, he's in charge until 2026 at Flamengo at the moment.
Yeah,
he was a manager, under 17 and under 20 manager at Flamengo. That's all he's done though. So I mean, in a roundabout way. I mean, would that really be much of would that even be an upgrade on the manager we've got now, who's already been there, done that in a division? Is that not just something that's kind of, I don't know. I think that's a bit of a risk, really. So,
well, as I say, it is a risk. I'm not the biggest advocate for Rob Edwards. I know some are, some will shoot me down for it, but I still worry if we are going to spend a lot of money, what are the type of players that we're going to be attracting?
Yeah.
That Rob Edwards, they've come because of Rob Edwards. I'm still, I've said on social media this week, I'm open to be proved wrong, completely wrong, and I'll hold my hands up and go, yeah, I got that wrong, and I don't want him to fail. I really don't want him to fail. I want him to succeed, but I'm just not. I'm not sure he's got the gravitas to attract the players.
I think he is his agent is George Mendes. I can't say that for sure, but I'm looking at something here, and it does seem as though he is. He's currently looking for a club. I don't know if Wolves is the right club for him, though, to be honest. I think if he wants to go into English football, I don't think a team that's gone down and he's looking to go straight up, Wolves aren't really the club I'd have him at. But interesting that we're even looking, to be honest, and linked to certain managers. You know, we've shows that we're thinking in one way or another. I've got Rebecca here. Rebecca, I'm just going to unmute you. Hopefully that works. Rebecca, I think you're muted yourself. I think that's why I can't currently hear you. But if you want to unmute yourself, we should be able to hear you, Rebecca. If you want to get your say on things, that'd be great. Don't know whether she's definitely muted herself. I can't unmute her. Yeah, feel free to unmute yourself if you want to come back on, Rebecca.
As well, though, Dan, what you just said, Dan, is every club should be looking at every manager. Yeah. Most managers don't last more than, you have 10 defeats on the bounce in this country, you're gone. So you're only 10 defeats away from getting the boot. So every club should have a list of managers that they'd want to recruit at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
So I would like to think they are looking at different managers, because if they're not, I'd question why. Why not? It's all right sitting there saying, Rob Edwards, he's a great bloke and he's this and he's that. And look, I don't want him to fail, but you must have a plan in place that if Rob Edwards is to go tomorrow or in June or whenever, he's the man. That's who we want, and that's who we're gonna go and get. And the trouble is, if you're reactive all the time, you ain't gonna get that one person you want. So I've no doubt that a good football club with good recruitment strategies will have that in place. And the same should be said for players.
Let me just see if I can get you to speak. I think that might be what the problem is. See if that lets you unmute yourself. I think that might have been an issue I was having. I think I might have to look at that a little bit more. But yeah, you're completely correct, mate. Just while you're sorting yourself out, if anyone wants to join us, I think I've sorted it now. So when you come on, you will be muted, and I've just got to unmute you. So just stay patient, and I'll get you unmuted. It's just so that it doesn't stop the flow. Because I think if so many people were joining all at the same time, it'd just be really confusing if loads of people were to join all at the same time. So that's kind of why we're doing it this way. See if that works now. Who was it that came on? Rebecca, try now. I think I've set it up different, so I think you can talk when you come on. Should work now. Rebecca, give it a go. Oh, she was there and then she's gone. I'm hoping it works. We heard her before, didn't we?
Yeah.
Perfect. Right, so I think while she's sorting that out, Rebecca, you muted still? You have the option to talk now. Gave you the option to be able to talk. Yeah. While she's sorting it out, anyway, we should probably talk about West Ham. Sutty, that's the next game. It's finally come round. Jesus Christ, feels like a million years ago. To be honest, I've kind of liked the idea of not having football for a little bit to sort of adjust myself and what have you. But at the same time, international football doesn't really fill the void, does it? Fuck me, I'm so bored of international football. It's all right when it means something, but when it's just these friendlies, it's just, I know that they've got to happen and whatever, but fuck me, like, it's not a great watch, is it? Yeah, North Street's exactly the same. Dave says we need to get Mendes back involved. Surely different options of recruitment. There are different options of recruitment happening. I know that there's a lot of different people coming into the club actually that are sort of weren't in the club already, and they're changing direction in that sort of respect, which is good. But yeah, West Ham, Sutty, how do you want Wolves to line up, and what sort of players do you want to see in the lineup?
I wouldn't mess about too much from what started at Brentford, mate, and what finished the second half. To be honest, I'd I think I'd leave the shackles on young Mane, and I would start the big man up front with Adam Armstrong, and I'd leave the rest well alone as to what it was, because second half against Brentford, we've absolutely tore them a new arsehole right up their back. We should have battered them, and if it weren't for the fact of a post and a little bit of poor finishing, they never got out their half, apart from right at the death when they should have won it, really, because we hadn't put our chances away. So I wouldn't start too differently from that, to be honest. I mean, I think we started Sarr, Krejci, Santi Bueno. I can't remember who else we started. We definitely started with Hugo Bueno and Jackson Chichua, André, João Gomes, Mane started, Adam Armstrong started. So I wouldn't be wavering too much from that, apart from I might swap Tolu and Mane to start with the lineup that finished at Brentford, which was chalk and cheese, two halves, literally chalk and cheese.
I think it's working now, Rebecca. I just heard you just for a second, and then it muted you again. You should be able to talk now, Rebecca. It's weird that. Testing, she says. It came up for a split second then. It's got to be something to do with the... Yeah, okay, let me try and edit this real quick. Sorry, Sutty. So, what's your...
It's a far more important game for West Ham than it is for us. It's good for us because we can, throw a spanner into people's work still. And we've just got to go out and try and win as many games as we can. I still believe we could win every game and still be relegated. I think big points total will go down. But we've got to try and get some momentum going, even though I don't think this squad will look anything like it does now come the start of next season. But for West Ham, this is huge. This is absolutely massive in their season. They lose this, oh my God, and especially at home, they're in a spot of bother, and I think their fans will turn. Let's be honest, in the FA Cup the other day against Leeds, they were 2-0 down, and the place was emptying for fun. They won 85 minutes. They were getting absolute pelters. And they don't take much turning at the moment, West Ham fans. But I'll tell you now, they've had it worse than we have with ownership. Absolutely dreadful ownership. So we can moan all we like, but fair play to that lot. They protest every single week. And look at the position they're in to what we're in.
I know. Yeah. It's exactly what I was going to say, to be fair. It's an absolutely colossal game for both teams, but Wolves look already down at the end of the day, and West Ham are very much still in it, and they're still fighting. We'll just have to see what happens, but yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Sutty. I think we do need to line up strong. We need to do our best, and 2 seconds. We need to go on the front foot basically from the start. We can't just piss around, because
No.
at the end of the day, they will shit themselves. Try again now, Rebecca. I think I might just have to give you full permission, to be fair. Oh, hello, Rebecca.
Now I can talk.
Hey, we can bloody well hear ya. God.
I'm only on here because nobody else will speak.
I know, right? Well, the thing is, even though it hasn't been working in terms of people being able to speak, I've still seen the odd few keep coming up, like in the little window you can see underneath.
I thought, well, I'll start the ball rolling.
That's it, mate. That's it.
Somebody
Well
else can
done,
start
Rebecca.
after me. So, I've got 2 questions.
Go on.
How did the poll go with the liquidator? We've got to bring the liquidator back.
Oh, that's a really good point. Let's have a little look, actually. Let me have a look. I think it's still at 96%, yes. Last time I checked. So, let's have a little look. Yeah, 92%. Yes. So that is the final result, with a 7.8 saying no, which are all Albion fans.
Well, there's a shock.
Let's be honest. I can't actually see who's voted, so that's might not be the case.
I believe all the other podcasts are putting their poll out over the next week.
Okay, brilliant.
So we'll soon find out. Everybody vote.
Yeah.
Vote for it.
Yeah.
Please.
If you get it in the 90s and you take it back to them and say, look, this is what we want.
Yeah.
They're going to find that very, very difficult to say, can't do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's absolutely nothing stopping them. I mean, I've seen on a chat page today, obviously with all the ticketing prices and that have come out today, it's very good news for young kids and what have you, and families going to football. What I will say to anybody taking their children to football, you're not going to change the world at a football match by asking everybody not to swear. Your children are going to be subject, not directly, but are going to listen to quite a lot of foul language. And that is how football has always been. This isn't a new phenomenon that's just come along.
No.
There has always been bad language that just rolls off the tongue. It's not aimed at your children, but it will always be there. And if you don't like it and you don't want your children to be subject to listening to it, then I strongly advise that you don't go, because you're never going to change it and you're going to be stood there just shaking your head all the time. The liquidator was around when I was a little boy, and although some might argue against this, it didn't do me much harm.
No, not at all.
No.
So while we got you here, Rebecca, what are your opinions of the season so far? You can swear, you can say whatever you want. It's a completely uncensored channel. Say whatever you want to get off your chest, mate.
To be honest with you, I just think it's appalling the way that the club's been run, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think the trust statement the other day was very good. I thought it brought up some good issues, to be honest.
Yeah.
But Nathan and Jeff Shee are just there as Fosun's puppets. At the end of the day, it's Fosun that will give the yes or no. And my next question was going to be, I know that it's really good on the pricing. I mean, it's fantastic with me for the kids. But in my opinion, they're just giving handouts at the minute to make us be quiet. I think there's a lot more, and there's more actions that need to be taken, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there is a lot of that, isn't there? There's a lot of the idea of, like Sutty said, they've got to do it at the end of the day, kind of force their hand. But it is good to see, at least. Like we were saying, it's hard to sort of get excited about anything really when it comes to Fosun, because you just know that at the end of the day we've been stung before, haven't we? And I mean, I'm still not focusing in really as such. Really, I mean, I've still got a half a season ticket on the floor there, and I don't know where the other half's gone. So out the window or something. I don't know. Who knows?
I'm one of these that I'll be honest with you. I think it's a good point that Rebecca's brought up here, that they have given and sort of shifted one way a bit more, because Jeff was just like, that's it.
Yeah.
It's my word. You'll have to go with it. If you don't like it, piss off, basically. Well, they have sort of softened slightly, but I'm one of these. And again, disagree with me. Come on here and disagree with me if you want. I don't mind. I'll have a chat with you about it. But I always think there should be something visual that makes them think they ain't gone away. They're still here. So I'm always up for, just letting them know something visual within a ground, just for a couple of minutes. Get your banners out and stuff like that, and say, just to let them know we're still watching you here. You've talked the talk, and you've started a little bit of a walk, but we want to see a lot more come the summer. And what you've got to realise as well is we're running out of games to do this with. So I think it's vitally important that if you're still a bit disillusioned, and I'm still disillusioned, because you cannot wrap this season up in nice wrapping paper and say, there you go, there's a lovely gift for the season. It has been utterly shit. We've had a few decent games the last few games, but other than that, 31 games with 3 league wins is utter shit. There's no way of wrapping that up any other way. So they've got to be aware that, and I think it's good to catch them on the up a little bit, where they think, oh, it's all rosy here now. Just give them a season ticket reduction, which, like I've said, they've had to, because we've gone down. It's not like we've survived in the Premier League and they've said, because of what you've just seen, we're going to knock 250 quid off every season ticket, is it? Let's be honest. It's because they've had to. So I'm still up for not so much protest, but just bringing them back in line to say, we ain't gone nowhere, we're still here, we're watching you.
I think it'd be interesting to see when these talks are happening. The the live talks that they're gonna host with the 200 chosen people. July.
I do. I think it will be interesting. I also think, because we have been a bit lastminute.com on everything, haven't we? Wolves, to be honest.
Yeah. And
it's worrying me, obviously, World Cup coming up, that we're going to be lastminute.com again with transfers, and we cannot be lastminute.com. If we're going to come out of the championship, because, in my opinion, I just don't think there's any other way we're going to go. If we're going down and we're going to punch ourselves out, we need some decent players. And Rob Edwards, has he got the criteria as a manager to drag these players in? And also, we can't be last minute in getting them. No. We can't. It should all be looked at now, before now.
I agree, mate. I agree completely. And it'll be. I mean, it's one of them where we're going to decide very, very, very soon. I'm assuming, what's the state of the club. And I'm hoping, I'm just hoping that some stay that we're not so sure about, that a few players that are in the team right now, I'm just hoping that some of those players might think, you know what, I ain't going to move anywhere else, so I'll stay. I'm hoping there's a lot more of those than we're being let on, because if Sutty's right, then we're going to have a very bare bones... are in the team right now. I'm just hoping. Hang on a sec. Sorry, just for a sec. I've got someone else added, which is great. I've just muted just for a second, bud, because I can hear a bit of an echo. If you could either turn whatever you've got down or use some headphones, mate. So we can't hear an echo. But yeah, I'll get you on as soon as we're done with Rebecca. But yeah, honestly, you've hit the nail on the head there, Rebecca. To be fair, like it's been an absolute dross season, and and we really, really have to be thinking now, what players are coming to this club, and are they going to be good enough to, like you said, punch Wolves back into the Premier League? Any more questions, Rebecca, before I get the next guest on? Is anything else you want to add?
I just wanted to start the ball rolling, that's all.
Bless you.
I'm going to say goodbye. Have a good evening, everybody.
Bless you.
Well done, Rebecca.
Bye-bye.
Well done, mate.
Okay, mate. See you. Bye.
See you later. Well done. So the next person that we're getting on, I can't see your name. It's just a bunch of numbers. So when you come on, just tell us who you are, mate. And hopefully, if it starts to echo, I'm gonna have to mute you until you sort that out, mate, because it's gonna be a bit hard for people listening on with their headphones and what have you. I'll mute you now. Just see if you've sorted that out. All right, mate. You are unmuted. Who is this? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me, bud?
We can hear you.
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Hello, guys. It's Dapper.
How's it going, Dapper? You all right?
Well, I've been trying for the last half an hour because I wanted to be the first.
Bless you.
I said I was all scared. So I had to go to Google, go to Firefox because the link wasn't opening up. So I had a bit of
sorry, mate.
A bit of settings like you do, Dan.
Yeah, I think I've got it all sorted now. It's a permissions thing. Because I don't want this to be one of them where, like, if like, I don't know, we start getting 10 people on every night. I don't want it to be one of them where everyone gets to talk all at the same time, because it's just going to be an absolute nightmare. So the permissions I've got now, I think I can mute when they come on and then unmute when they're ready, sort of thing. And it's nice. It's nice that way. But anyway, mate, Dapper, sort of the same question, I suppose. So, are you any question you want to ask Dapper, Sutty?
Well, I'm this more or less same age as Sutty. I'm just gone 54, so travelled away with them the length of the country. And when the new ownership come in, it was absolutely great. After the Morgan, after they put all the Tesco's in our seats, and then you got frustrated. Years gone by. The first 3 years have been fantastic. I was going to ask Sutty a question. Do you think the big man who owns Fosun have just let she just run the rule, as in that he didn't know what was going on over the last 10 years? As in, because he's obviously they own pharmaceutical companies, Club Med. Do you think he just left him to his own devices until we done this demonstrations? Did you think the big boss's ears pricked up then to say, what's going on down there? Because obviously he's a busy man. Wolves is probably not his biggest problem at the moment to look at, and he let that, I'm not going to swear, let that idiot
swear.
Okay, let that prick run it into the ground until we've done the demonstrations. Do you think he's, like I said, his ears pricked up?
No, I think he was fully aware. I think there's been a plan for this football club, Dapper, for the last 5 years. The plan was to get us in the Premier League for maximum exposure, make sure we got into Europe, even more exposure, get a lot of good world-class players in, which we did, and they did that. Remember, we got to remember that as well. They did that, and then that gets you global branding, and that global branding is massive to Fosun International. And I still believe when people say, it's like we've just posted a loss of 15.3 million. That's like me and you flicking a 10 pence piece down the drain, because these bastards, and I'll call them bastards, they've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of pounds of worldwide exposure in the form of advertising that far outweighs the little drop in the ocean that they pay each year to keep Wolves going, or Wolverhampton Wanderers, I should say. So they are very, very aware, and they'd have still been doing it now if the likes of you, me, everybody else on here hadn't been stood on that Waterloo Road that night. Now, we know how many were going to rock up that night. That was 8 days after Villa away, that protest. And I got asked on the concourse at Villa by Kieran Newey. He pulled me to one side and he said, "We need to talk." I said, "Okay, got it." He says, "We need to protest." I said, "Okay." I said, "I've started." He said, I know you've started." He said, "But we need something big." I said, "I'm in." And that we didn't know how many were going to turn up, and we think that 4,000 people stood on the Waterloo Road at one point, and that was the catalyst to Jeff Shee going on Radio WM and literally burying
himself. Hanging himself. Yeah.
Without any of these protests, and you'll have your people, what we deem happy clappers, will say, "Oh, I did nothing." Let me tell you now that it did far more than you realise, and you'll be the ones.
It was massive. It was. Didn't want to see it. No club wants to see a protest, but when your chairman comes out, if you want to win an FA Cup, then Wolves is not for you. Surely he should have been sacked within that 24 hours from the powers above.
Well, that's a sackable offence for me. And also the one that really made me going hard on him personally was when he said it's irrelevant what division this football club's in. It doesn't matter what.
When I put it on the YouTube, like all of us, I had to pause it. My face went blood red. I had to go into the kitchen, open a can of Tango, calm down, and then press on pause, just because I just couldn't believe what he just said. It was like, let me just calm down. You know, it's like sort of when you hear somebody disrespect a loved one or something that means a lot to you, and they're in charge of that company. I went blood red. I had to get a clock, said, "Go to the fridge, calm down," and on pause. By then, I think I had 24 cans of Tango before he finished the interview.
Well, I don't expect everybody to get on board with us with protests and what have you, but there's absolutely no way that he would have left or been pushed had there not been visual protests. And it was, don't forget as well, we played Man United the night of the protests, and it was a Monday night, and that was the biggest game in world football on that Monday night for exposure. Sky Sports were there. Every TV network was there. They all covered it, and within 48 hours, he'd gone.
It was brilliant because they even mentioned it in the preview before the start of the match. That was on about the lads and the girls out front protesting. So, like you say, perfect timing, perfect event, and even the commentators and like you said, that was his downfall then.
He had to go, and his position was untenable for a long time. But he's been found out to be a compulsive liar. But don't lose the foresight in thinking that the lies he's told. He's working for somebody. He didn't own this football club. He's working for a higher person that owns a football club.
Well, that's why.
If I own a football club worth £400 million, even if I'm personally worth £10 billion, and things start going wrong, I'm going to ask questions, unless there's an ulterior motive here as to what they want for this football club. Now, we don't look at Wolves as a business. It's our love and it's our passion.
Our passion,
It's about finding balance, because football clubs, unfortunately, now are big business. So it's finding the balance and giving us hope. And if we don't have any hope, guess what? We'll be back on the Waterloo Road.
No, you're right. Because I remember like what I call the glory days before all the Premiership, even though everyone wanted to get there, Sutty. Do you remember going to places like Southend, and when we scored a goal, there was like an 8-foot metal fence in front of you, and all the lads or any away supporters was up there. It was climbing the fences. Then was glory days, but now you have to sit in your seat and just pay a huge amount of money for your season ticket and just sit there and clap. That's what they want from you.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you this story to finish your little segment on. I was asked to leave the South Bank at one point this year for swearing.
Oh, wow. and them down the road can use. I'm going to say it's our song. I will say it forever. So them lot down the road can use our song, but we can't.
We will.
Obviously, we're doing that vote, and the vote was very successful. But it kickstarts the match. It kickstarts a Saturday or a Friday night, or obviously, I think because we're going to be in the championship, we're going to be on a lot of Friday nights.
We need all the help we can get as well, don't we, Dapper? You know what I mean?
We do, mate. We do.
From the first whistle of the first game. So
this is a community club. We're not a tourist club. We're never going to be a tourist club. You can market this club as much as you want. It's not an attractive football club. It is to us.
Yeah,
100%.
But we're not an attractive football club. You know what the demographic of the football club? It's in completely the wrong area. We've missed the boat big time when we should have pushed for the Champions League or Europe. They backed off. They realised it was going to cost too much money when they can just sit there and just take part. Well, what's the point now where we're even taking part?
So for my final point, you really believe that the main boss does know what's going on at Wolves, i.e. players come in, the sales, the losses, the discontent with the fans 6 years ago at least. You really think the big boss knows nothing about that, Sutty?
I think he knows everything about it.
Okay, mate.
Yeah, you don't. He doesn't. You don't own a business like this. Now, I know people say it's only a little drop in the Fosun network. Yeah. But if you're that good a businessman, you know everything that happens in every little part of your business.
Makes sense, buddy. Makes sense.
He knows, mate. He knows. Take it from me.
Lovely. Let's just hopefully we have a great summer window. Get rid of this season completely, even though it's not over yet. But I'm one of them little 5% guys. We win tomorrow. Who's it next? Is it Leeds then? Who's after that term, Dan?
Good question.
Is it?
Good question.
Is it Brighton, Sunderland?
I think, yeah, something like that. Leeds.
Sunderland, I think. After Leeds.
I'll be able to find out for you in a second. So we've got West Ham, obviously next.
Leeds,
Tottenham, Sunderland.
Oh, yeah.
Tottenham. That's a biggie. Yeah. That's at our place, isn't it, Dan?
It is. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, we got 2 home games in a row. Them and Sunderland. After the Leeds away fixture, so I think we've not been very good away, have we, Dapper? So
well, Sutty and no. On many moons ago, talking about success, we've never been successful. We went to Bolton. I think we was 2-1 up. Did Venus score at home, Sutty, something like that in the first leg?
Yeah.
And then I think it was, I can never remember his name. Was it McGinley that chinned Kelly?
Yeah, John McGinley.
Yeah, should have been sent off. And seeing Bully on the ground on all fours after that, it's never been. And then we had, who was it, guys? Norwich, Crystal Palace, Baggies in the playoffs, and we've won 1 out of 5. Is that right? 1 out of 4 or 5?
We had a very good playoff side, to be honest.
No. So these next 3 games, the old dog in me says, no.
Yeah.
But there's a percent. But there's a little percentage saying, go on, lads, prove them all wrong. Let's do this. But let's see, boys?
Yeah.
Never give up hope, Dapper.
Yeah.
Never give up. No, never give up.
Cheers for
coming on, mate. Appreciate it.
Cheers, fellas.
No
up the
problem
Wolves.
at all. Up the Wolves, mate. Up the Wolves.
See you later, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
See you later, mate.
See you guys. Bye.
So yeah, cheers very much, Dapper, for coming on, saying hello and that, and getting involved, and some good points there, Sutty. Some really good, well-spoken people so far. Let's have that keep up, man. We're one of those clubs though, aren't we? So we're very well-spoken, because it is what it is at the end of the day. We're not beating around the bush with anything. Whoever comes on here is only going to speak the truth at the end of the day, because that's the kind of fans that we are, aren't we? We're not.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're nothing else but that, really. Sharky, I've got you on here, mate. You are more than welcome to unmute yourself, and I'll get your volumes as you go. Can you hear us okay, mate? Can't hear Sharky. I've got him. He's unmuted, so you are. I should be able to hear you now. Come on, whenever you can, mate. But everything that the guys have said so far, so I completely agree with. It's kind of echoing what we've already said 1,000 times, ain't it? Really. And we'll just got to be hopeful, I suppose. But at the same time, I mean, we've got to be realistic as well, haven't we? And I think that's the balance we've got to find now. Sharky, I've got you unmuted, mate. I should be able to hear you now, but I can't hear your device, whatever you're using, your phone or whatever. Just make sure that you've got that activated, bud. And I'll give you a few moments to sort that out. You were briefly talking a little bit, actually, about the West Ham game. And you kind of said about the line-up and what have you. What kind of game do you expect from that? Because Wolves away haven't been very good to watch, really. It always seems like we do too much, really, to avoid conceding, really. I'd like to see us have a little bit more of the ball, and go with a bit of a gung-ho mentality, really, because we've got a lot less to lose than they have.
They've got to come out at us, haven't they, and have a good go.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about that. They've got to win. A draw's no good to them at home against us. So hopefully, if we can suppress them a little bit and make it hard for them, they'll start leaving gaps. I saw enough of them against Leeds in the Cup, and I know they were different sides and changed sides, but I saw enough of them in the Cup that tells me that if the side that turned up against Arsenal, Villa, Brentford and Liverpool turn up, we've got every chance of getting something.
I think Sharky's coming to action.
Hello.
Here he is. How you doing, mate?
How we doing?
Good to
Hello, Sharky.
Good to see you.
Yeah, man.
Good to hear your voice finally.
Yeah. I'll watch every week, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Watch all the other pods and that.
Legend. Cheers, mate.
What's it? I personally think we're going to have a big part to play in the end of the season when it comes to the teams we've got to face and the running we've got.
Yeah.
I mean, go on.
Do you think by that, do you mean like you think we sort of end the season as good as we can?
I don't think we'll necessarily win every game or anything like that.
Yeah.
I just think when it comes to like West Ham and like we've beat them twice this season already. Mavropanos is still starting at the back for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not a good team. Like they've rode the wave. Like even when he was asked questions in his press conference, Nuno, he don't want to answer questions when it comes to the Wolves. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we might, you'll play West Ham. I guess my point is, the end of this season, you're going to end up having people that are coming to us trying to play us, and we're going to be at a point where we've already accepted our fate. Do you know what I mean? We've accepted our fate. We know we're down. So when it comes to us conceding a goal against these teams that will want to start quick against us, our mentality is to go again. And I think that credit has got to go down to Rob. And I think when you look at the position of the club and where it was before protesting, it's like I'll watch every single game. Do you know what I mean? I'm there. I watch every kick. I orientate it. Like I'm invested like you wouldn't believe.
Fair play, mate.
And everybody's the same. Following this club, you're more the same. I'll admit to that. But at the end, what I'm trying to say is, before protest, you could see us going down. I'd say the Burnley games where you could tell that last minute goal where they were going for a point and we need the points and then going for a point, but they managed to win it.
Yeah.
that was the moment for me where I thought, yeah, we're done. Do you know what I mean? And then even I'd tune into these pods even more so to get the point of view of all you guys. Because I'd have a dad taking me down the mall. Do you know what I mean? So everything I've learned has been off my own back from a young age. So everything that I kind of learn now, I don't learn it through you guys. I have my own means and ways. But what I'm saying is, when you guys are coming on here talking about the protests and raising the points that we'd made to Jeff and whatever, and then I remember Sutty saying that they're just trying to pacify us, and that was the point in my head where I thought, yeah, like a lot of their messaging the past couple of years, you could tell they didn't think about us at all. But obviously, in that moment, you don't think it's unnormal. You know what I mean? Throughout them seasons, you're kind of thinking, this is the way that Fossen have always been. So people need to calm down, such and such, whatever. Every season, we've kind of managed to stay up. So it's reinforced that they're kind of good owners and all that type of stuff. So you carry on going and you carry on buying the merch and all that type of stuff. You carry on thinking that the season's going to take that turn. But the past 4 years have been the exact same. We've all seen it unravel. We've all had to wait until the Januaries to get to the end of the windows to have no players. We've had to do that. We've had to do that every season. And then when they do spend money, they spend it on crap.
Yeah, absolutely spot on, mate. So
I'm not going to lie. I could ramble on forever. I mean, I'm one of them that comment when I do. I'll comment a paragraph because it just comes out my mouth like vomit. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, mate, that's what this is all about. At the end of the day, this is what it's absolutely all about. You want to get your point across because the club mean a lot. Do you know what I mean? That it's
yeah, of course. That's all it is, though, isn't it? Like people go to have a good time, to disconnect, to have whatever their constant is in life. And then you get people like Jeff that don't consider him at all. And then some guy that's come in from Club Med has been able to just have a little look at what makes a good football club and realising that the fans have got to be there too. And then you look back at the thing, like it's like Nuno wasn't very much liked by media. And he didn't need to be because he had us. Whereas every other manager that's come in hasn't had us. So the media, they've had to try and get along with to get their positive, their mindset right and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I think with Rob, I think he's got to have a lot more credit with people in my eyes. Like with the position we were in at the start of the season, we were on 2 points for God knows how long. Vitor could not get a tune out of us whatsoever. André didn't look like André. João didn't look like João. Do you know what I mean? You watch all these players week in, week out last season for Vitor, and it weren't like we were all watching thinking, wow, this football's unreal. We all could see it coming, and then we've given him the purse strings. You know what I mean? And now look where we are. We're picking up. He's had to pick up this squad that's had 2 additions. He's got rid of a lot of players that we spoke about week in, week out. Like negatively, like Agbadu and Minetzi and whatnot. The fact that I'm even mentioning their name hurts. They're absolutely awful, yet they were picked every single week. And it's like, mate, I don't need to run a football club to see that player shouldn't be on a pitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It didn't matter what he'd done last year. If football was like that, then there wouldn't be such thing as contracts and money involved, would it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You'd still have Neves here if that's the way football was.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
You
don't work like that.
Tell him he was crap.
Personally, look, I'm not openly criticising Rob Edwards. I sincerely hope Rob Edwards proves me wrong next year, and this time next year, and you can all record this and go back and watch it. I sincerely hope that we're top of the league, out of sight, and we've smashed everybody in sight. Oh, I will absolutely laud the bloke. And I'm not dissing him now. I've just been put in such a situation by this football club over the last 5 years that I don't trust anything they do without seeing their actions.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, at the moment, I do see that Rob is a thoroughly decent bloke. I'm just very, very wary of really anybody that comes in here at the moment. If Rob was to go, I'd be so wary of anybody because I've lost all trust in them. And
110%.
once you've done that, then it's over, isn't it? Really.
This is my point. I think it's so much bigger than Rob. I think it's so much bigger than Rob.
Oh,
Like when you're looking at people to come in, it's not just the manager. Like look at the state of this football club. No one in their right mind is going to want to come. Oh yeah, go on. How many teams in the Championship, 16 or so, say they're going to go up? You know what I mean? They're all saying they're going to go up. And it doesn't happen for all of them. You know what I mean? We're going to have the same. We were in the position we were in at this season. We've embarrassingly gone down after 8-9 years in the Premier League. People don't mention us in them conversations as being one of them teams because we didn't establish ourselves. Year on year, we were in relegation battles regardless of the status. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So it's like
Sharky, we have got one tool in our box of tricks that should absolutely smash the shit out of everybody. If West Ham go down, well, they're insolvent now. So if they go down, they're in a huge amount of trouble.
Yeah, that's fucked.
If Tottenham go down, they've posted a statement that say going down will cost them £260 million. They'll be in a bit of trouble, but they'll be the sort of club that can still attract players. If we go down, we're not in any PSR issues or anything like that.
No.
We can go and spend a lot of money. Now, this is where they'll be judged. If they spend a lot of money and spend it wisely, there's no reason why this football club shouldn't come up. And the only reason why this football club shouldn't come straight back up is because of these owners.
100%.
Nice.
I think for me, it's like you look. If you were to sit down and like before the protests, you were thinking how they're going to get this from what it is right now to where we all want it to be. How is that actually going to happen? And we've had to wait all these months to get to this point now where they've started to do the tap-in shit, like season tickets and all that type of all the jargon that will come out to positive reinforce their message and that. You know what I mean? They'll do all that. We're in it now and we've got to just wait and hope that they do it and hope that they come through with the fruits. And we're all sat here at the end of the year thinking, yeah, fair play. Jeff needed to go. It was him that's done what he's done. And then I can look at the ownership in a totally different light than if they come through on their word. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I just think with Nathan, it's like with this type of stuff now, if they are going to be doing what they've done and shown with the messaging that they've put out is exactly what I would have wanted to see from a club going through this transition. If you know what I mean, it's all there. And that's what I mean. If they carry on going through them with the smart signings, and I think Angel Gomes ain't really the smartest signing, but it's a body through the door to get people talking about at least something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think Armstrong, he'll definitely come to fruits next season. I think he's shown more than enough quality this season to warrant wearing that shirt over the other cunt that wanted to wear it all season, the charlatan of that butching Larson. But yeah, like I said, I think if they carry on doing the clever thing and the clever signings, then we've got every chance coming back up. But I think it's not just Rob's pull; it's the club as in general. Look at the state that we've gone through. It's going to be a lot of agents looking at the body of work we've got, and yeah, we've got money for players, but they've not really went on to new pastures. Do you know what I mean? Like they've all.
You've got to be bold as an owner now. This is where you, as the owner, have got to be bold. And if you don't say it, you've got to address your chairman to say, we will do everything we can to get back up. And we will be the big hitters. That's what they told us in the meeting. We're going to be the big hitters and we'll punch our way out of the Championship. So I know for fact, because I was there, and I can hold them to account for those statements. If we're this time next year and we're languishing halfway, they should be held to account.
Yeah. Any closing questions or anything you want to get? Anything else you want to get off your chest, mate?
Mate, I could talk forever. I really, really could. Especially when it comes to Wolves. I mean, my missus never used to watch football whatsoever, and I've turned her into a proper Wolves fan. She knows absolutely everything now. Comments on your videos and everything, mate. Like we both watch together.
I love that. That's cool.
Apologise for my swearing.
Trust me, she came in to watch us from when Lopetegui took his first game, mate. She has not seen anything. She has not watched nothing. She thinks this football club's an absolute joke, and she still sits and watches it. Do you know what I mean? Still goes.
Bloody hell, mate! What are you putting her through?
Oh, trust me. Them are the highlights, there, man. Jesus Christ! Honestly, when we win the games in the cup this start of this season, I thought, yeah, we'll turn it around. Told us we've turned it around. We always do it. We shit at Christmas. Like we did the same thing every year.
Yeah. This
season is the season where I've seen her kind of tune out a little bit and go, yeah, I ain't fucking watching in the Championship. Fuck that.
Yeah.
So she's got to wait to see us winning again. I'm like, yeah, come on, watch these highlights with me. No interruptions. VAR's not there. It's great. Watch all this, and then it'll be back in the Prem next season and be all crap again.
Yeah. You're probably right, mate. To be fair, we're going to wait and see, innit? Cheers for having you on anyway, mate. I really appreciate you finally hearing your voice. I always see your name in the chat.
It's all right, man.
I massively
appreciate you doing the live call-ins and that, man. I'll give you a lot of stick each week with the, I'm happy to do so.
Yeah,
I'll continue to do so, I might add.
Yeah, mate. Honestly, sometimes I fucking need it. It's such your test for that. But
I just think everybody that sits and talks about Wolves has the same opinions. They're just twisted a little bit differently. You know what I mean? And I love hearing people's opinions. Absolutely love hearing people talk about my club the way that I feel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's that.
Especially when you've got all this stuff going on, and then you've got you guys. Sometimes you're free on other podcasts as well. 5 people. That's such a small portion of the fan base, and you all. Everyone tries to get their view across, but, we all want what's best. Don't we? We all want to be doing what we were doing 7 years ago, going to Europe and all whatever. But,
yeah.
I'd much rather be taking that first Championship season every year. I'd take that every year to be gutted at the end. Instead of going up, I'd take that every season, get gutted instead of going up, and just repeat that over and over again. I would.
Yeah, I think
the Premier League's boring as fuck, mate. Honestly,
it is. I think it's more about the idea of having owners that have got a shred of ambition, isn't it? I think that's what we're all hoping, really.
That wave we rode, mate. He won't be able to do that again. Nuno won't be able to do that again. And if he was to come back, it would never happen again. That was all. It was all the ownership coming at the right time. Everything just. It all aligned.
That's absolutely right.
It happens every season with every club, with most clubs. Do you know what I mean?
Like Sunderland now. Like Sunderland now.
The minute the COVID thing come and the excuses were there to be used, it's just gone downhill since. And they've been bit this time, and they've had to do what they've done. And the only way they're going to ever make it an attractive club again is getting them back up in the Premier League. And if they don't do it, they'll move on to another geezer and keep the club anyway.
That's it, bro.
Sweet.
Nice one, mate. I'll have you on. We'll have you on again. Yeah, I'm going to say we'll have you on again 100%, mate. 100%.
Lovely.
All right then, man.
See you later.
Take it easy, mate. See you later, Sharky. See you later, mate. Very good. Very good. Sutty, thanks for joining as always and being the second Grumpy Wolf. I don't know if you're the first or the second Grumpy Wolf, to be honest. Probably the first one, to be honest. Probably the first one I saw, at least from podcast perspective. And I think that's why I've always been glued to you. To be fair, because I was just thinking I'm literally going to be you when I'm your age. You know what I mean? Be that one guy. Listen, guys, thank you so much for getting involved. I'm sorry that it was a bit of a tiz was trying to get you all on. But it does work now, which is nice. I can see North Street a lot trying to get on and struggling to do so. So what I'll do is North Street, I'll message you privately and talk you through the process a little bit more. It is a little bit strange because it's not what you used to. normally, I'll tell you what happens, basically. Say if you go on Always Wolves or anyone really, they'll give you a StreamYard link, which is basically a third-party website, and you pay a good whack of money for that unless you're sponsored by them. And to be honest with you, it's a lot of money for something you can do DIY. The only problem, you don't get all the perks of just sending a link and then you go straight into a chat room and everything. I've sort of had to work around that a little bit with something a little bit more unique. So yeah, I'm glad it's working to some capacity, Sutty, and we'll make this a thing more often on certain nights and what have you. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys sticking with us and being there. So one thing we didn't say about the West Ham fixture, I know we kind of alluded to it last time, but my head was really in it, to be honest. The West Ham game, what's your score predictions? And we'll leave it there and get your score predictions in the chat as well.
2-0 Wolves.
2-0 Wanderers. Who's scoring?
I'm going to go for Armstrong and Tolu.
Yeah, they scored in a game beyond closed doors, actually, against Villa. Yeah. So yeah, they've got the shooting boots on, which is good. I'm actually going to change from what I said last time. I said I reckon it'll be a boring draw. I feel like it's a team that's going to be really, really up for it, but I think it's going to be the first goal for either team is going to completely transform the game entirely. More so than usual. So I feel like if we score, they will shit their pants, and we could probably go on then and win the game quite comfortably. I think if they score, their tails will get up then and go, right, okay, this is the game. We need to win this. Let's hold on. They might even defend quite valiantly at that point. Lots of scores coming in, but like I said, going to go 1-0 Wolves. Going to go 1-0 Wolves. Cagey ass game, but I feel like we'll get a goal early on, and I feel like they'll shit themselves and kind of throw everything at it, really. And it'll be a bit frantic. So yeah, a lot of people coming in. Broken says, Rodrigo Gomes to score. You know, I'm going to say that as well, because I don't know if you know this, Sutty, but I like Rodrigo Gomes. North Street, yeah. He says, we think we will be crap. 2-0. Says North Street, perfect. Rebecca says 2-1 Wolves. Neil says 1-0 Wolves. Everyone going for positive results, so let's hope they don't let us down. Yeah, I'm hoping you guys enjoyed this a little bit more than last time. Loved the podcast last time just because of the guest we had, but we had so many technical issues. It was just such a nightmare, but I've got my head around it a little bit more tonight, so I appreciate your patience, guys. And we'll be back for the next one. You'll see me. I don't know whether I'm doing a watch along, to be fair. It's Friday, isn't it? Tomorrow? Shit. Yeah, I don't know. I'll let you know if I'm doing a watch along, guys. If I am, you'll join me back here. If not, I'll see you on the I'll see you for the match review. And then every Thursday, don't forget, 2 Grumpy Wolves podcasts with episode 10 next week. Can't believe there's already 10 episodes. What the fuck? Where's the time going? Yeah. Cheers for having you here again, as always, Sutty. Thanks, everyone, for joining in. And we will see you for episode 10 next time. Until then, guys, see you later.